Welcome to A and B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron,
I'm Ben.
and today we're very excited to be joined by the Geare brothers, Jeff and Darren. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for coming
Thanks.
on.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
having us,
thank you.
guys. Happy to be here.
Yes, this is going to be awesome. So we are going to chat with you today about your film, The Retaliators. I'm so excited to wear my T-shirt too for this. So let's see. You guys are a writing and producing team. Retaliators is a fantastic film. I'm a fan.
You need to be sure. You can't turn back after crossing this line.
Merry Christmas.
Before we get into the questions, I wanted to read a couple of the reviews that I wrote down for your movie. Let me show the copy I've got right here. So Dread Central said it's a daring and unforgettable viewing experience. Fright Fest said it's a sensational, crowd-pleasing cinematic thrill ride. And Fangoria said it's a horror movie with 80s action vibes soaked in spaghetti Western roots. How fantastic is that? Congratulations on the film, on those reviews, and just for making it.
Thank you. Thank you so
No, I
much.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
it's funny too to even just hear those reviews and see any of those. The funny moment Jeff and I always look back on is the reviews were embargoed. We went out to our first film festival, which was Fright Fest, and we had not had one review, and we didn't know how we were going to be received at Fright Fest, and our reviews were embargoed for like 30 days, and we went to lunch the day before, and it was so funny. We had this lunch where we just sat down and kind of prepared ourselves mentally for the next day where the reviews were going to come out. And I was like,
Oh gosh.
okay, remember, this is horror, so we're going to
Mm.
get, because we're just such lifelong lovers of horror and just genre films in general. So a good review is such a great thing for a film, but we just know that the genre is so maligned critically. So we're
Mhm.
just like, we're going to probably get destroyed tomorrow. So let's just be prepared that they're going to go, this and this and that. And there was nobody more shocked than us when those reviews came in. We were just so blown away, so happy.
And well deserved. And those are some heavy hitters there too. That's very impressive. You must have been
Yeah,
thrilled. Thrilled.
beyond thrilled. I mean, Fangoria being the gold standard, of course, and Dread
Mhm.
Central. Yeah, I mean, it was just couldn't be happier. And I think we ended at 86 or 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, and just completely a shock. I mean, we're just so happy because the bad reviews were very funny. Jeff, more funny for me. Jeff would always get a little just slightly shook by them, but I was always just very entertained um, because of how um,
Yep.
they were so they were rarely about the movie. Um, and for whatever flaws they would point out into the movie, they were right about because there are of course, I mean, we're so hypercritical. I mean, we know where there's potential flaws and things like that, but
Mhm.
that's never where the bad reviews were really focused. It was always things like they would just be these. The funniest one was we had one that said well, gave us like 1 star, and it said well, it looks like your two high school bullies wrote a movie, and it's this misogynistic, um,
Oh my God.
this horribly misogynistic movie written by your two high school bullies, And we're just like dying reading the
How do
reviews.
you-
Like, oh, this
yeah.
is fucking hilarious. It's just
I
so
think it-
ridiculous.
I remember
And
thinking it
the
was
thing
so
that
bizarre
makes me
reading.
laugh is, I bet they said that Terrifier 2 was a great film.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember distinctly the Guardian, I think, said something like, "Yeah, this is a resolutely sexist film."
Yeah, that was what.
And I was
yeah.
like, "That's your headline?" You know what I mean? You're reviewing a film, and it's like,
That
Oh,
was
wow.
the headline. They
I
had
was like, "Well, of course, you're the fucking Guardian." You know
yeah,
what I mean?
they had. I mean, we would get these just instead of reviewing the film, we would get this commentary about
The social implication, like the
well, it was
you
like
know.
because the dad was male and he was avenging his daughter who was female. It was like they were just making it this
It sounds like a
a
stretch.
gender thing, and it was like it was just so bizarre. I mean, it was I mean there was a lot of
Yeah.
that motivated the writing of the movie, but
The frontier town. I remember there was one review who actually gave a positive review overall, but she was real snarky the whole
yeah.
time.
So those we just wrote off completely because they were just so
They're
ridiculous. But so long story short,
Yeah.
we were just
Well,
very happy with the overall.
absolutely. I remember because I've never had anything of a film be released and have critics and reviews and stuff, and I just remember
Mm.
I remember thinking I wasn't going to be affected by it either way, right? I'm kind of like trying to mentally prepare myself. And when the good reviews came in, I was
You were
overwhelmed.
so happy, right?
Honestly, I remember taking a drive and I remember just starting to cry because you start realizing like you put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and you have no control once it's out. You know what I mean? How people are going to respond to it and stuff. So just the fact that like legit horror fans were digging this film. Like that meant like people who love Charles Bronson movies as much as we do were digging the movie. That's what made me the happiest, you know.
Yeah.
Do you not think that kind of some of the bad reviews are actually a bonus though? Because I know they were saying it was sexist. You could say it was sleazy. 80s, too much blood or whatever. But I guarantee you, there's an audience that out there will go, "Oh, that sounds like the 80s. I'm in," and they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Well,
There's this meme with Bert. I think no, not Bert. Tom Selleck and the girl who played Murder She Wrote. I can't remember her name. But she's like she's like looking up at him, hugging
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, she's like looking at him like so adoringly, and it says like trashy '80s films, you know what I mean, that are problematic, and like it's like me.
Yeah.
She's a fan. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a few of those. Yeah, well, we're huge canon. The '80s canon movies. All the Bronson and Chuck Norris and all of that era of sort of sleazy '80s and fun. Turn your brain off. Just the great era of cinema, and we watched those constantly. Grew up with those. Still love them. Watch them all the time. Love to show those movies to people today who haven't seen them because I feel like they get better over time. They get funnier over time, and they hold their entertainment value. So there was so much of that. So you're totally right, Ben, because it was like we'd read these reviews and just be like, boy, you just really missed the point of the homages in here. Because we had a lot of homages kind of sprinkled throughout that we didn't try to hide. I mean, we have a big Evil Dead homage, and it's like it's right there. We're not hiding it. The canon homages are right there. But if
definitely
you're not,
Evil Dead. Yeah, I saw like People Under the Stairs, of course, Death Wish. Can you say like what were some of the films that you did an homage to in this movie, other than Evil Dead? Are there others that perhaps I missed?
There's a fun one. I don't want to give it away for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but I will say there is a Superman one.
I mean, you could. I mean, it doesn't give it away.
It
doesn't give it away. I mean, you could say it without giving it away. There's a Superman 2 homage.
Superman 2.
Do you know Superman 2 well?
I think so. Yeah.
Too very well, and I'm rattling my brain now to try and work out.
So Without giving, yeah, I think you can do it without giving it away. There's the ending to the movie is when I was a kid and I saw Superman 2, and when Superman gives up his powers to marry Lois Lane, and
Mhm.
he goes into the bar, and
Yeah,
he gets punched. Seeing Superman as a kid get punched and bleed and be kind of weakened like that was like this super like whoa, like I just it had such a
yeah,
it was just like it was such a shocking thing as a kid, because you got to remember too, in that era that was all we had. That was the only superhero movie that existed, right? This was before Batman, and so it was the first real superhero movie.
Mhm.
And so the ending, the epilogue of the movie where he goes into the bar and punches the guy out, to me as a kid was like the most satisfying ending ever. And you didn't need it. It didn't make sense for the plot. It was completely gratuitous. You know, it wasn't necessary, but it was just like the most
Mhm.
perfect tag ever. So there's a tag in our movie that is 100%. That's an homage to that, you know. And so that's
Mhm.
kind of an example of the kind of homages. Some of them are a little more hidden. I mean, you wouldn't really know that. There was one person that actually called it, but that's a pretty subtle one. Um, but that's an example. I mean, there's a lot of little ones like that kind of peppered throughout. The Evil Dead one is obviously the most obvious, and that was just
Mhm.
us really laughing, you know, kind of when we were writing and going into the third act and figuring out, okay, how do we just make this, you know, as crazy as possible, and how do we just ratchet the drama up? And then we just sort of went, oh my God, what if we just, you know, what if this just went full Evil Dead, and he just turned into this sort of Ash-like figure. And
Mhm.
looking at the arc of a pastor going to that just felt so fun, you know. So you know, that was one. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. There's probably a lot more I'm not thinking of. I mean, there's Hills Have Eyes would be
Of course,
another
yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Uh, the we
Great
got so
film.
yeah, and we love the remake. The remake is
Yes.
fantastic.
Yep. Agreed.
Um, so there is definitely with the sort of creatures, and then even just some of the there's some shots in the cabin that are very
Mhm.
I feel like in the editing we really captured Hills Have Eyes moment, and then the casting of Joseph Gatt. I mean, he looks a lot
Yes.
like like Michael Berryman, you know, a more
Oh,
handsome
yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
There's also some mumblecore influences in there. Greta Gerwig. I'm
Yes.
all.
Yes.
What was that Infinite Playlist movie?
Yeah, you can see
Pilgrim.
yeah, you can see the mumblecore all over it.
Horrifying movie.
Yeah, definitely.
did it did it change much as you was writing it then? Because obviously, as you read it, you was free to do with what you want. So did you go, well, actually, this sounds pretty good. Let's put this in, or was it set in stone and that's how it went?
Well, we learned very
Yeah,
much.
good
It
question.
is a good question. You know, we sort of had the best of really we had the best of both worlds when it came to that, which was what sort of amazes us is that when we go back to the very beginning of the original script we wrote, so much of that original the concept, the characters,
The
it's
spirit.
the spirit, it's all there. The dialogue, I mean, it's all basically there, intact pretty much from beginning to end. That being said, um, our film had the very insane timing of being in mid shoot when we were in the forests of New Jersey when lockdown happened. So our film literally stopped cold. When SAG shut us down, the SAG rep that came to our set and shut us down said we were the last union production in the world, and we're done.
Wow.
And you guys are done. So we this caused logistical issues that I can't even describe because this was way before tests, way before vaccines, way before anything was organized or what have you.
Oh
And
yeah.
so the we went through multiple directors. We changed coasts. We were shooting. We had actor uh, logistical issues. We had every possible issue you could imagine, and thank God we had a studio that just believed in the film and was willing to kind of ride us through these problems. So it forced us, and luckily we got to do it. It forced us to have to write our way through issues, um, and and along with an amazing editor uh, and Michael Lombardi, the lead actor in the film, directing the final piece of the movie. We sort of worked in concert. It was Michael directing, Randy editing, and Randy Bricker editing, and then Jeff and I writing. So we would write. We would give the writing to Randy as the editor and Michael as the one who was going to be directing, and we would work everything out meticulously. So it so also a pretty good amount changed, but it was sort of it wasn't the spirit of the thing. It was sort of the okay, we've got to change a location, we've got to figure out a different actor, we've got to. But luckily, the heartbeat of it all, obviously the main characters that mattered all were there, and the main, Joseph Gatt came through, thank God, because he was so crucial. Mark Menchaca came through
Yes.
because he was so crucial, and obviously Michael. So and Katie Kelly, and so all the actors that were just 100% crucial, and everybody was fantastic. But and then we just had to sort of just do a lot of creative logistical shifts. So so it's a little bit
Yeah.
of and no.
Yeah, it was definitely a movie made by hook or by crook. And it's funny because I think most movies work that way.
Yeah.
It's like you have the script, you're going to make something by hook or by crook. You don't know if it's going to be it that you started with.
Right.
And it was weird that our movie went through so many issues and transformations. And by the end of it, though, we ended up having a lot of control and made sure that the movie maintain that original spirit, and a lot of things that were in there in the original script, they were there. So it ended up being, I was completely amazed by the finish line of the film, that like, wow, after all that we went through, we got something. It isn't exactly what we saw in our heads or anything, it never is, but it's something special, something that we were proud to be like, okay, we helped put that together. It was, we made it. So
the quote I always love is Bret Easton Ellis. When the first thing he ever sold was Less Than Zero, and when he walked out of the premiere, he told this. I forget who he told this story to. It might have been in his book, actually. I don't remember, but it was in his book, and he said that he was with his friend or his agent or somebody. And they said, well, what did you think? And he goes, they didn't use one scene that I wrote. They didn't use one line of dialogue that I wrote. They didn't use one plot point that I wrote. The only thing that is in the movie that I wrote are the characters' names. And
Oh my gosh.
and after hearing that, I went, oh my God. But that happens. I mean, that's an
Oh yeah.
extreme. But you know,
Or to writers
Well,
that
it
even get
happens with
full writing
Stephen
credits on
King.
movies.
Stephen King all the time, right? That's why he's usually unhappy with his film, like The
correct.
Shining.
Right.
I've heard he's not a
Right.
fan of because it's so different.
Because it's just so, and it's hard for people to understand because The Shining is so beloved. But
It happens with screenwriters too. They sell a script and they have something
Yes,
contract that says
yes,
they're going to get the sole credit, but it gets rewritten by three different writers, so
yeah,
they end up not having
yes.
anything in there that's theirs, but they get the credit. You know what I mean? It just so we were just happy.
so yeah, so
We kept the credit and kept the movie.
despite
Of
all of
course, yeah.
the drama with lockdown and all of the changes, when we look at the first document, I mean, it's really all there. I
Yeah.
mean, really the beats and the
Mhm.
the the plot points and the dialogue and everything. I mean, it really is just it's really mostly all there. So we feel very, very blessed that that all happened the way it did.
Yeah, as you should, as you should. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to say the timing of this interview and video is perfect because I watch this movie. I watch your movie every December, every holiday season, because maybe not a complete Christmas movie, but there's definitely some Christmas elements in there. So I just wanted to throw that out. And I do have a question. Music plays a major role in your movie. You've got Ice Nine Kills, Five Finger Death Punch, Tommy Lee's in it, Papa Roach, Escape the Faith, Eve Under Fire, just to name a few. Why do you think horror and rock music lend themselves together so nicely? And did you always intend to have music play such a major role in your film?
Great question. I think why they fit really nicely is I think they're both genres that live in the underground, despite the waves of popularity that they may receive in the mainstream.
Hmm.
Rock music has gone up and down in the mainstream. Horror has gone up and down in the mainstream. It's on a we're in a golden age right now. We're still in a peak golden age. It's a beautiful time for horror. But we know there's been times where horror is receiving the most sort of respect it's ever received right now.
Hmm.
It
But
always, it always seems to do well, but it's just not always like lauded in the
yeah, yeah, it's still
Yeah.
always
by the
some
critics and stuff.
correct, correct. And so I think there's a because they both. So why is it that they live no matter what in the underground? It's because of the passion of the fans. They're just
Yeah. Fan driven.
It's fan driven. It's a and there's just
Hmm.
something sort of you know a little fun and subversive and dark and
Yeah, they're both kind of naughty. You know,
yeah
they can both be a little like,
yeah.
"Ooh, am I supposed to be watching this or hearing this?" You
Yeah.
know?
Should I
just
be listening to this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Should I be watching this? Should I be listening to this? It's they're close relatives in that way. So I think they just lend themselves to each other just so
Some
nicely.
good-natured vulgar fun,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
If we
As far
rewind
as
the movie, is there a hidden message in there?
If you
Like a
play it
psych-
backwards.
if you watch the movie backwards, if you watch the movie backwards, we're not
Oh, that's
liable for
awesome.
what happens.
Yeah.
Don't sue us.
If you build a little,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
We won't say it
Yeah,
online. But as far as was that the
We've all
intention?
seen The Gate, right? The Gate.
Yeah.
Bad things happen.
Yes. Well, we know what Judas Priest went through in the '80s, so we'll not.
Yeah,
I
we're
want
not,
that.
we're not
Yeah,
trying to get
for
a
sure.
satanic
No,
movement
no.
started here.
But the it's
Although a Christmas movie would be a perfect delivery system.
Yeah,
for it,
yeah,
right?
it would.
Oh, yes. Family fun, right?
yeah.
it would be. So
There's an
yeah,
idea for a horror movie right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's already there.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
true.
like it. As far as the intention, it's funny. The intention was certainly we never thought we would have access to Motley Crue and Ice Nine Kills and Papa Roach and all these. I mean, we never would have thought we would have had access to all those bands and all those artists. So that was never an intention. But what's funny is the first people that we had sent the script to, some of the first people, we had gotten some reviews of the script that that said some things that were just like we were laughing so hard. They were like because believe it or not, the third act of the script was even crazier than the movie. It was wild. I mean, we kind of went way crazy in the third act.
They're like, we can't shoot.
Like this is
yeah,
not.
it's like you guys don't have enough money.
Yeah, we can't shoot this. This is.
Oh, that's too bad. What could have been? What could have
this is too crazy. We'll do it another time. At another time for sure. We'll save it.
So we won't say what they were, but
so we had sent the script to somebody related to because we're huge S. Craig Zoller fans. We love Big Bone Tomahawk and Cell Block 99 fans. So we had sent the script to somebody sort of in that camp, and we got amazing coverage, and they loved it. And the quote he put was, he goes, "If there was ever a script that was metal as fuck, it would be this script." And it was so funny because there's no reference to music in it, and there's no. We did have, when he's coming out in the motorcycle, we actually did have that he had a boom. There was a boom box actually, and I forget what song we had it playing, and I'm sure it was a metal song, but and then we had one other coverage that said the third act felt like you were witnessing the birth of metal. So there was this feeling of this kind of rock spirit in it, and so I guess that's definitely a big reason when the studio and producers got a hold of it. They just had that vision of let's get the bands and they all just loved the project and just really wanted to be a part of it. So
well, and I always thought that the title, the first thing that drew me to wanting to do this story as well, I actually discovered it in a log line Darren had written down. It was only like a 2 or 3 sentences tops, and I went over it, and he already come up with the title, The Retaliators, and that's what hooked me immediately, was the title, because I thought this sounds like a band, like a metal band or something. Like it just sounds like, I don't know. I could get down with that. So it's not even that it was just on the page that people picked up on. I think it's in the title somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know how to articulate it very clearly, but it's in there.
Well, and I don't know if I was clear, like the music plays a major role, but a lot of the singers and musicians in the bands are in the movie as well. So they have cameos and small roles, which was so cool.
That was even a crazier development because cool. One thing to have metal music in it to sort of like accentuate that.
Yeah.
But the guy who ended up producing the movie, or the big studio behind it, they had all these bands that fit right into the wheelhouse, and that became the symbiotic relationship. It was like, hey, we got these metal bands, we can put them in your movie. You guys want to use them as actors? And we were like, we don't know, but we were like, but we're gonna say yes because we want to make this thing. And it turned out that we got great acting from these guys.
They were
and gals.
So good.
You know what I mean?
So good. Yeah. I mean, Jacoby Shaddix is phenomenal. I mean, when we saw
that performance.
Yeah, when we saw the dailies, we were just like, "Are you fucking kidding?" I mean, what's the bummer is, movies get shaved down into such, I mean, he's amazing in the movie, but even just looking at the alternate takes and the outtakes, I mean, he is incredible. And of course, Ivan is amazing. I mean, really,
you buy everybody in it. I felt like I bought, you know what I mean? I didn't have to be like, oh shit, we had to do that guy or the gal, you know what I mean? It just all felt really good. It all felt like it fit.
And it was such an honor to have Spencer Charnas in there, and from Ice Nine Kills, he's the man. He's such a
and
cool
you got to
guy.
know, man, I'm a John Denver guy.
He's so cool.
I don't listen to metal like ever. You know what I mean? So it was kind of funny, but my brother is a huge metal guy. He's always giving me metal. You know what I mean? I get into his car and I'm like, all right, here we go.
I force feed it.
You
Here
never
we-
know based on the shirts the two of you are wearing.
No, I'm a metal guy. I'm a metal guy.
And so it was kind
That's
of fun,
cool.
like having all these bands involved, and I'm like, I don't know this world, you know what I mean, at all. So it was really fun, like meeting everybody, and everyone was super nice and
Yeah.
totally chill. And now I'm a little more of a metal fan now,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
cool. And the Blu-ray has a bunch of music videos that I watched from the
Oh,
movie.
sweet.
So if you're looking to get a physical copy, that's a bonus there.
Heck
Go
yeah.
ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, I cut you off.
No, I was just going to ask. Obviously, you've got like the gas station. You've got sort of the dungeon type place. You got the houses. You've got the woods. All different locations in this film. Were they close together, or was some of them quite a distance?
Man, you wouldn't believe, especially because
Yeah.
of the lockdown situation. The locations were.
Well, maybe we should ask first. Do you think they were all next to each other?
Yeah.
Did it come on? Did
Yeah.
it play like it was?
Hopefully it felt like
pretty good. Yeah.
They
Uh,
feel like it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
but say
Because-
more. Yeah, I'm curious.
Otherwise, the magic trick didn't get pulled off. You know?
because believe it or not, some of that was in New Jersey, some of that was in Connecticut, and then a big chunk of it was in Las Vegas, because we had to move.
We're degenerate gamblers, and
and then a good
A
portion.
win-win.
yeah,
And then maybe
shoot where you want to party. That's the
Yeah, I like it.
maybe the most amazing part was we had this airplane hangar that we
You guys are breaking up a little bit.
design. And
Cheers were
okay, I was
think we're good
saying
now.
we had this. Okay, good.
okay. Cool.
Speaking
we
of
had
technical
this
difficulties, go ahead.
Yeah. We had this huge airplane hangar and just an amazing crew and an amazing production design team, and a lot of sets were also built. And I mean sets that I don't even think you would realize were built. I mean, we were just, and when we were on set a couple times, and one of the times we came in to the into the hangar, and it was unbelievable. I mean, just seeing walking around and seeing what they had built and how, I mean, it was unreal.
Cool.
So it was a mixture of a lot of locations.
Well, it all looked like it was. Well, I don't want to say one place, but it looked like you was in the same county.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, no, I think it works really well.
Good. That was the movie magic. That's good.
Movie magic indeed. Let's see. So before we wrap up, we do have some this or that questions for you, and then we'll talk a little bit about how everyone can watch your movie. We try to make it a little bit Christmas themed, so go with it. Just pick one or the other. Gremlins or Krampus?
No, ribbed or lambskin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just ignore my brother.
Fair enough.
You've gotten a good version of my brother today, because usually
He pulls up his shirt. He's all, my left tit or my right tit.
see this is
we could bleep this out.
Closer.
This isn't live. See, Jeff, sorry, this isn't live, so they can cut out all of you.
We can edit this, yes.
See,
It's like
they
it
will
never happened.
No, but not. This stays.
This stays, yes. So I was
He will just come out with non sequitur, nonsensical, bad jokes.
Aaron's like, me or Ben?
And,
Right now. You have to decide. He's gonna pick up all-
and he does this for no
He's
one.
like,
He
just call it.
does
Just
this
call it.
for no.
It's a-
No, there's
It's a country for old man situation.
Oh my gosh.
You stand to win everything. All
I
right.
apologize.
I don't know if you even heard the first one. Did you guys hear it?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
No, you wouldn't shut the.
All right, here we go. We're starting this or that right now. Gremlins or Krampus?
Oh God, Gremlins! I please. I know you. I have 10,000 Gremlins things on my wall. So yes, Gremlins all day.
Yeah, Gremlins is gonna have to get it. Yeah,
One of the
Yeah,
greatest.
for sure.
That's in my top,
it's just chewing my bones. You know what I mean?
and that's legitimately
Yes.
in my top 10 of all time, like all time.
Oh, how do you feel about Gremlins 2?
I like Gremlins too. I
It's
like
fun.
it. I mean, I'm not
It's
a
fun.
Gremlins 2 hater. I'm not one that thinks it's better than the first.
Right.
I like it. I enjoy it. But
Mm.
the original, I
It's
saw
the
it
best.
in
Yeah.
the theater when I was
It's
a
the
little
best,
kid.
dude. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Exactly.
A White Christmas or Somewhere Hot and Sunny?
You said Lloyd Christmas?
Oh, a
No,
White
well-
Christmas. That's my British accent, isn't it?
Wait. No.
Listen here, you pumpkin pie haircutted freak.
I'm like
wait.
I'm like the deep south of our country, so I'm like a
No. I think it was my computer actually.
What were you saying?
Oh,
About Christmas?
Like snow, white Christmas. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Got it. White Christmas.
Oh, White Christmas.
Okay, got it. White Christmas or what?
or Hot and Sunny.
So go to the Rockies or like go to
Oh.
Hawaii for Christmas.
Oh.
I think it's yeah.
I
Mexico
go-
or ski?
White Christmas, 100% for
Oh,
me.
bro, I'm going to Hawaii, bro.
Hawaii. Oh, that's so funny.
Aaron
Okay,
could be a
with you.
difficult one there, didn't he?
I don't want harsh elements, bro. I like everything the same all the time in my
It's-
personal
I want
life.
White Christmas.
Oh my God, it's so funny. The exact opposite. Okay.
This is why we're a good writing team.
Yeah.
Because we.
Oh
we-
yeah, I could tell. I bet you have a lot of fun. Okay, Jack. Kind of think about the movies here: Jack Frost or The Gingerbread Man.
Oh,
Jack Frost
dude,
all day, dude.
We are.
I love
huge.
Gingerbread Man, but like Jack Frost.
No,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
By the way, we're Jack Frost 2 fans over Jack Frost.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Because of just
I've never
how.
seen it. Never seen it.
Oh
bro.
Oh, you have to watch. And we're not
Okay.
talking about the one with Michael Keaton. The other one.
no. We're not.
No.
Of course not.
No.
Jack Frost
That wasn't
2.
horror.
Yeah, that was horror, but unintentional.
In a different way.
Jack Frost 2. There's dog shit movies. Are we allowed to curse on here or no?
Sure.
Dude, I've been letting it fly the whole time.
Yeah.
You're asking now.
There's
Please.
dog shit movies, and then there's Jack Frost 2. It is another level of bad. It is so great.
The way they open with like the rhyme,
Oh.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
Stop. Don't give it away.
Jack kills people with whatever.
You screwed it up
Sorry.
anyway. Okay, keep going.
Pumpkin or blueberry pie?
Pumpkin.
If it's my mom making it, pumpkin. If it's from a store, blueberry.
I could see that. Yeah. Let's see. Bing Crosby or Burl Ives?
I'll go Bing.
I'm going Bing.
Good choice.
Where am I? Physical media or streaming?
What's that?
Physical media or streaming?
Oh, please.
Physical media all day.
Just look behind me.
I mean,
Yes,
I have-
yes.
I have about-
Same here.
I think we are all on the same page.
Yeah,
there.
we're all-
yeah.
We're all, I have about 2,000 VHS behind me, so I think that'll
Oh, cool.
see
No,
everywhere. But yeah.
Now, are these VHS tapes that you've saved from back in the day or that you continue to accumulate?
Both. I have
Oh.
the shelving that you see is shelving that I bought from video stores that closed down over the years. So it's all actual video store shelving and video store signage.
You're kind of a grave robber. of
Yeah,
sorts.
true.
Yeah.
And then I have
Yeah, that's so cool and sad.
yeah, I know. And then I have Tower Records signs,
Yeah, I
Tower
see that,
Records
yeah.
listening booth, and Tower Records shelves that I bought off the last one that closed down near me. But yeah, I still buy them. I'm always looking for like my white whales of ones that I don't have. But yeah, I've been collecting them since I was a kid too.
Cool. Let's see. Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 or Silent Night, Deadly Night 2?
I go one.
Garbage Day. Yeah.
I haven't seen those.
Oh, okay.
I know. Yeah, that's a blind spot for me. Sorry.
You should check them out. Maybe I go with 1, 2, but part 2 uses a lot of 1. First one, like
That's true.
flashbacks, so I guess that would win.
I've got the original tall box of that too. I've got the big boy of
cool.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Nice. And a 4K
On
copy is coming
VHS.
out.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mhm.
Nice.
Scream Factory is doing it. Yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead, Ben. I may have skipped around, but you can just keep going.
This sounds like you've been watching Harry Potter, actually, where you write this down. Boozy hot chocolate or hot buttered rum?
Oh, you said that so well.
Yeah. Let's say that because nobody's been understanding me. So.
The hot chocolate. It says unstable. Damn it. Are we back?
Are we back
I
yet?
think you're back. Yep. No, you're back
Are we
now.
back? Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think I'll take the rum. They both sound kind of good, but
Yeah, I'll probably go rum.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm a teetotaler. I'm gonna go just hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Okay.
Choice. Good choice.
Cool. Let's see. Okay, back to me.
you can't even have fun on a back game.
Killer
Don't
elves.
drink.
Yeah.
What's that?
Killer elves or demonic toys?
Ooh.
Well,
What a
I
good-
do.
That's
one
a
day I
damn
would like to
good
do
question,
DMT,
by the way.
and I don't
That's
want to have like evil elves in my head because I mean like the elf machines, or whatever. So I'm gonna go the toys. Yeah, demonic toys.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
That's it.
And we didn't even plan that. You just happened to have it right there. to
Yeah.
put on your shelf.
Oh, bro.
Well,
That's
I'm
amazing.
surrounded by VHS, and no, that was not planned.
Well, you know what else wasn't planned?
Wait. Put that.
What is
Okay.
that? Oh my
Oh,
God,
no,
my
actually-
giant.
You know what
Actually, before I'm gonna do,
Save
I'm gonna,
that
let
for
me
your
share
favorite
this really.
movies of all time segment. Go ahead.
No, let me.
Like that's your low key favorite movie.
No, let me. You guys are gonna die. So we have a friend. Okay, you know the guy at the end of the Retaliators who gets punched in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our friend. His name is Skylar. He's an actor and he's a comedian. So I start getting in the mail. I open my mail and I get a poster of My Giant.
Stop it.
And I go, what the? And it's from nobody. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Someone's just saying
So then I get mail a week later, and it's a video store counter standee of My Giant. So then a week later, I get the VHS of My Giant. So I finally call Skylar after about the third thing, and I said, motherfucker, there's only one person I know that would be sending me a random ass, but I've never seen My Giant. But he's like a big 90s. The reason I knew it was him, and he denied it. He was like, that's not. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, dude, because he always talks 90s movies.
Yeah.
I go, you always make 90s movies
Milk Money's
reference.
like his favorite movie.
Yeah, he always talks terrible 90s movies. I go, I guarantee it's you. So anyway, he has not stopped sending me My Giant items.
Dude,
They're still coming.
Even
And-
now.
I'm so bummed he's not sending me.
Well, so
these.
here's what's funny is he said
I want to get this. That's fucking cover, dude.
What he-
Just look at that one more time.
what he begged me to do is he said, will you please take all of the My Giant things and make it your background one day when you do a podcast, but don't say anything
Don't say
and just see if anybody notices. so
I fucking ruined it, dude.
you spoiled it.
You ruined the
So
moment.
you guys are getting the sneak preview. We're going to pull that prank one day. We're going to just be surrounded by My Giant stuff and see if anybody notices.
I literally walked in and I saw this sitting over here, and you did, and I pocketed it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm using this for, but I'm using it for something.
Using it in the yes.
And I've
You
never
could do
seen
it. You could do an episode and call it My Favorite Movies and just start with that in the background.
That's a good call.
That would be
That's a
great.
good call.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Okay, sorry to train wreck your show.
I
Go
think
ahead.
we've got one more, I think, right, Ben? The big one.
Cool.
Jaws or the original Halloween?
Oh,
God.
shit.
So you're going.
Gosh, man.
You just don't want to mess around, huh?
Oh,
Ooh,
come on,
gosh.
you always.
I think I got mine. I actually
Okay.
it's hard. Yeah.
Okay, so can I cheat?
No, you gotta
How
pick
can you?
one, dude.
Okay.
Gun to your
Here,
head. You
okay,
have to
okay,
pick
okay,
one.
okay,
We know
okay.
you're,
Okay,
we know
I
you're in
got
the
it.
middle.
I got it.
We know you're in the middle.
Shut up. Here's the deal. The correct answer is, of course, Jaws. Okay, because Jaws,
Mhm.
you could argue, is the best movie of all time. Okay, Halloween, I
Mhm.
would argue, is the best horror movie of all time. So there is a distinction. Because I do think Halloween as a pure horror film is perfect because there is no other film that there is tension from moment one to the end. There is never a moment where virtually where Michael Myers is not stalking, watching the music. It's tension from moment one to the end. There's no other movie that does that, and the camera work, the music, just everything.
So
But the
both
better film it has to be
has
Jaws.
to
I
be
mean,
Jaws. Sure.
and Jaws is bigger than a horror film. It is, you
Mhm.
can call it horror,
Right.
but it's an adventure film. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, that's a very rich
Mhm.
movie. It's a much richer film than Halloween is. So anyway, that's my
For sure.
complicated
Okay.
answer.
Got it.
Yeah, I kind of don't disagree with that. That's well
Mm.
said, well put. I would only say that maybe where I would like to kind of the one I probably watch more though is Halloween. That's the one I like in terms of
Yeah.
like the world I want to go into to like kind of hang out. You know what I mean? I feel like the Halloween world I'm a little more comfortable in.
I'd rather be in the Jaws
You'd
world.
rather be in the Jaws world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Who
did
doesn't want to go around the island?
well, I saw Jaws.
Yeah.
I went and saw Jaws 3D last summer in the theater.
Okay.
I thought I was going to hate it because I was like, it's 3D.
Not the sequel
original
3D,
No,
the
not the
original,
sequel
right?
3D.
Okay,
The
okay.
original that they made 3D.
Okay.
And dude, I have to
Oh,
say,
cool.
I loved that experience. It was like watching it for the first time again. Because you're getting perspectives you never, thought of before in that film. That you never saw it from before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Well,
if it ever comes around to a theater near you, I recommend checking it out.
That
It
would
was
be cool.
really
If
a
it-
good.
I always go to the theatre if it's in the theatre. I've probably watched it in cinema like 8
It's
times.
Ben's
now.
favorite film. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
Halloween's mine. So
Because they don't always work when they go 3D like that. Like I love Titanic,
Mhm.
but when they try to do that 3D, I was like, no, I'm not. It looks weird. It doesn't transfer right.
Yeah.
the other,
Sorry.
I was going to say too is Roy Scheider. I could watch read the alphabet.
Yeah, same here.
He's like in my
he's good.
easily in my top probably 5 favorite actors ever. So when I say hang out in that world, I could just watch Roy Scheider. I mean, Sorcerer is one of my all time. I mean, maybe my favorite film of all time.
Yeah.
Several of my favorite films of all time have Roy Scheider. I mean, he's just the greatest. And what's funny, Ben, is you kind of look like Clint's younger brother. Like you look like
I'll take that.
you got like you
totally.
got Clint's hat. You got like the facial hair.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You look
even the shape a little bit. Yeah.
You got kind of look like Clint's brother, dude.
No, thank you.
Like
I'll
his
take that.
very handsome, sexy brother.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll take that as well.
Wow, just
I was
made
so
his-
sad because
Don't let him flatter you. He's only flattering you because he wants you to leave his bad jokes in the episode. Trust me. Okay, go ahead.
But no,
We'll keep it all in.
I was so sad because we just had a winter Comic Con and Richard Dreyfuss come, but I didn't make it, and I was so devastated. But it would have been amazing. But it's one of
to
them.
meet him. Yeah.
But
Awesome.
He's been telling a lot of great stories lately, like really digging into the lore with him and Quentin and just getting really into all the details and stuff. It's been pretty awesome to hear him tell all that stuff.
No, it's
Sorry,
super
Robert Shaw, obviously, but you know what I meant.
Yeah. No, I love reading about all that anyway. So
Yeah, great lore.
Mhm.
And I'm obsessed with all the Halloween lore too. I mean, that's a really good Sophie's choice, but I found a really good cheating way out of answering it.
Yeah, no, I think you did.
It was a good way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, nicely done. Let's see. Well, we don't want to keep you all day. The Retaliators, it's streaming on multiple platforms. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Perfect time to watch this time of year as well, right before Christmas.
Yep.
And can you guys talk a little bit before we let you go about any new projects you're working on, and including your podcast, if you want to give a shout to that in the last few moments?
Let's see. We have a new podcast. It is going to be a lot of fun. We have a few episodes in the can. We were actually hoping to be launched by now, but we actually had a big writing thing happen very recently that's very cool. So it's sort
Awesome.
of yeah. So it's we've been working very hard on that. So we're going to get right back on the horse to we want to get a few episodes stacked up
Cool.
before we release, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're not quite ready to plug it yet, but we're hoping to start getting them out within the next month or so. But it'll be a lot of fun. Jeff, I have a counter on the screen counting how many attempts at horrendous jokes he has throughout the episode, and the count gets quite high. It's pretty fun. And
Awesome.
you get
Well,
to
we
see us
can't wait to check it out.
bicker throughout the episodes.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Ben, do you want to do the closing?
Yeah, to both of you, thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Well done with the film. To anyone that hasn't gone and seen it or watched it or whatever, yeah, well meant. Go and watch it.
Watch it again.
It's got some wicked. How can I put it? I don't want to spoil anything, but it's got some wicked gory bits, some good action scenes, a really cool soundtrack, and well done to you guys. Also, go to A&B Horror Movies. Follow us over there on Instagram. And if you are following us on air, thank you. And if not, hit the likes and subscribe because it helps us. That was a lot. I got that though.
No, that was really good, man. I'm impressed. Yeah, nice job. And thank you, Darren and Jeff, for joining. This has been fantastic.
Thanks for having us, guys. Big fans, and we're just it's our pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, a lot of fun, guys.
Cool.
Thanks.
All right. See you later. Bye, everyone.